for this life.
It was way better in real life than it did in photos.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad you think that. And
I can wear different taillights already. I probably should have waited.
it is okay. Well, you admit
I freaked out when I saw the photos because I thought I wanted red ones, so I ordered different ones.
the clear does not look that bad in person.
No,
It looks
pretty
worse in photos. The
Yeah.
clear. Are you ready for a black car life? First mod.
Yep.
First official Turbo S mod.
Do you remember me ordering last night?
Yes.
Yeah.
You break it as your right. Let's just let this one roll.
Yeah, I'll be the one that can break it.
Yeah.
Honestly, the clear taillight is not that bad. It definitely stood out a lot more in photos, that it looked way more white clear, but this like blends into the all black, I think, really nicely.
No more Audi life.
Which is very ironic with the situation of today.
I want to smell it. I'm so happy I didn't do the yellow babies.
I will say, as a neon princess, this looks a lot better in person than I thought it would. Like, I actually like it, which is surprising, because I usually like a lot of color.
Don't tell me I lost my turnkey thing.
No. So you step on the brake and you turn this to the right.
Oh, so the keys are just a sensor, and then this is like an artificial key.
Yeah.
Oh.
Step on the brake and turn it.
All right.
Okay, never mind. This car looks so good. Wow, I did not think I would like an all black on black car this much. It looks mean and aggressive.
I need a full walkthrough.
It's finally here. You're excited? Yeah. Can you please explain really quick the ironic part of this entire situation with the Audi?
Yeah, so the gentleman that we sold the Audi to gave us a ride here in the Audi that we sold the day before this car came. Literally, wire comes in, wire goes out for the car, because he's picking up another car here on the same day and the same time.
And the last time we were here, we drove the Audi and parked in the same spot. It's just a whole weird, but everything happens for a reason. It was great.
Literally, he gave us a ride in the car.
Oh, well, and it was also ironic because he was already coming here today. That's why he gave us a ride, just he's signing for his Turbo S. Yeah, great. I love the yellow accents. It pops so much more in real life. When you were building the car, it didn't really look like you would notice it as much.
Colette, right off the rip, these speakers, like the GT3 just doesn't have bass, and maybe it's a weight thing, but oh my god.
Already sitting in it. I see what you mean by it's way more like dailyable. There's so much space. It's more loungy in here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so happy.
Oh, look. Oh, they look so good together though. Hold up, like the video with the yellow in here and then looking at that one.
So we didn't really talk about it, but I was trying to convince Colette to get a GT4.
That one specifically, right there, test drove and everything.
This already feels right.
Yeah.
When I first drove the Audi, it didn't feel right.
This
feels right. This is a me car.
I really liked the black on black, which originally that was a big discussion. I was like, no, you gotta do chalk, and went back and forth, and this is it. This is you.
It's missing something.
I also didn't realize how much more roomy this car would feel. There's a lot of space. And kind of functional backseat, if you're like my size.
You know what I love?
At least we get for bags. What?
I'm so happy that for once I have a crest on my hood. The GT3 has a sticker, and the sticker is cool because it's like race car aerodynamics, but there's no way to shut the hood without getting fingerprints on it. But now I have a badge to push.
Oh, facts.
Yes.
Sweet. Now your OCD won't go crazy with fingerprints everywhere.
Oh, I have a black car now.
You should have seen, oh, true. It is black. It's going to be harder to detail. But like the first time I shut the front on the GT3 RS, I saw you cringe. Because I didn't like use my shirt and press down, so I don't shut that anymore.
I hate this. I don't care if Porsche people love it. The chrono thing in the middle of my dash. I like plain and no. Because look, now I have to put my stupid radar detector here. I got to hardwire it. Drive me nuts.
Chrono delete mod.
All right. I don't like this car anymore.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Is that an accident?
Yes. That was car crunch. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Is that top lifting? Oh my god.
Was it a car accident?
It sounded like it. Oh my god. Alright.
God, it feels so smooth. This is how a transmission's supposed to feel. I'm so happy. It sounds nice, but it's gonna sound better. I know they kind of sound like vacuum cleaners. You don't need to say it in the comments.
Vacuum cleaner?
Yeah, it's not the best sounding Porsche in the world, but I'm just happy. I'll say right off the rip, breaking in these cars is a myth. They break them in on the showroom floor. And dudes that drive these cars for 3,000 miles and never floor it, man, do I feel bad for you, because that's like half the ownership that most of the people own these cars, and they'll just baby them. We'll floor it, don't worry.
Okay.
I can't wait to see your face when we launch this thing.
Why?
You thought the Audi was fast.
Oh, true. I forgot about that. What is the 0 to 60 in this?
It's like 2.5 seconds.
2.8?
Something absurd.
I forgot about that.
I've never been in a car that launches as fast as this car will.
But you've never launched a Turbo S before?
Oh, well, I launched one of the previous gen ones, but that was about the same as the Audi.
Oh my gosh. I forgot about that. This looks like a U car. This is perfect.
Look at my yellow seatbelts.
I know.
Why does my forehead look so greasy? I didn't eat pizza today.
It does not. I love it.
So, with these Porsches, if you're not like a super Porsche guy, this ending of the video may not be of the most interest to you. But Porsche dudes geek out over their options. They're always like, oh, you have the yellow seatbelt. Oh, wow, you have the fire extinguisher mod. So, what I thought I would do, I made a printout so I can discuss kind of some of the options on the car and why I chose them. These 911 turbos, people will spec to the moon. I think I've seen a couple that have had upwards of $75,000 in options. This would be considered more on the base side because I have about $30,000 of option. Turbo S, the biggest thing for me was that it comes with the carbon ceramics. I know there's some other differences. I'm not super familiar with them, so I'm not gonna sound like an idiot, but I'm gonna launch right into it. The car's black. I've never owned a black car before. What is all this? It's like salt deposits? Yo, I wonder if that's from the water here. I wonder if we need like a crazy filter thing. Ooh, we just found out something bad. Adam's getting sidetracked again. Okay, I have the deionizer, but someone ran over one of the things, so it doesn't. Okay, black. I've never had a black car before. I wanna live out my gangster dreams of having an all black car that just, I don't know, it doesn't stand out. This car's supposed to be a daily, and I really wanted my black R6 Avant so I could have my all black car. This is gonna be my all black car. So I'll end up tinting the windows and putting on different wheels that are all black, and yeah, we'll do that. So I'm just gonna go right down and explain all the things. Deviated stitching. I was torn at first about possibly doing red interior, but in some of the photos that I saw, it looked kind of tacky on the 992s. This is the newest generation, obviously 992 comes after the 991, and you'll see the stitching is yellow. I don't know, all black interior wouldn't be cool to me, but the yellow stitching just makes it look that much nicer. I love it. I love that I did the orange stitching and I paid the extra on my GT3. It was one of my favorite things I ever did. So it was a must on this. I always love the colored seatbelts too to kind of tie everything together. Ties it in with the brakes and it breaks it up a little bit. In retrospect, seeing some of the cars with red interior, I think it would have looked cool, but I'm really happy with my choice and it's like perfect. I usually am not a black interior fan, but I like it. Next thing, sunroof. You guys, probably the biggest thing that I think anyone would think about this spec, including myself, is why the didn't you do the carbon roof? Because you can do a carbon roof and it's like practically the same price as this giant electric slide sunroof. The reason being, because this car's my daily, my logic is, well, I'm gonna have one of those roof boxes on the car pretty much at all times, and you cannot run the roof rack with those carbon roofs. You can do the sea-sucker thing, but those are sketchy and I've heard some horror stories about them, especially with carbon roofs. So I got this because I can use the factory Porsche roof bars and then have my big black roof carrier on here where I can throw all my luggage and groceries and stuff, since the frunk on these is kind of small, which I'll show you. I think it's about the same size as the one on my GT3, maybe a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit smaller, I don't know, but can fit like a couple backpacks in here, but not much. We went to the grocery store earlier and couldn't really fit too much. But anyway, walking around the car, I did do the carbon fiber mirror covers. They look sick. I'm really pumped on how these mirrors look. What's cool is on the other side, compared to the 991s, the carbon actually goes all the way down instead of just being a half cap. I also did painted side skirts. These would normally be, I think, kind of like a satin plasticky looking black. It just looks nice, and it was one of the things that I really liked about Porsche's Aero Kit, which is another option that I was like kind of wavering on. The Aero Kit basically painted the side skirt. It had a little different valance on the bumper here that kind of came up that I really didn't like. It looks out of place. Was kind of cool because it had a little bit more aggressive front bumper. Wasn't even crazy about that, but I hated, it had these weird little winglets. When the wing is down, they look stupid because the wing has like these things that look awkward here. But what I didn't realize is those are actually built into the lower wing. So that way when this wing goes up, it forms like almost like a kooky style wing, and it looks so cool that I keep looking to see if I can just buy the Aero Kit trunk, because I kind of regret not doing that. While I'm back here too, these little slats come from Porsche, painted gray. I opted to have them painted silver. Sorry, I'm so stupid sometimes. I opted to paint them black because I thought it looks better than silver. Pretty much, just murdered out everything that I could. I thought about deleting the 911 turbo badge because it looks pretty cool when you can't tell anything in back, but I decided to leave it and just have it painted black by Porsche.
Looks good black.
Yeah. Another thing that I was kind of on the fence about was these clear taillights, and I didn't understand the photos that I was looking at, and I thought that the red ones were actually the clear ones because this is like cool light bar thing. So I got the clears, saw photos of it, decided I hated it, ordered the red taillights online because I regretted my decision, then saw it in person. I think I kind of like them. When Mike is saying he loves them, you can't hear him because he doesn't have a lav mic. He keeps talking behind the camera, so. Yeah, so normally on like the 991s, you wouldn't have this bar, and when it was just these two taillights, they looked super ricey and almost like eBay tails. I think the center bar kind of ties it together a bit more, and I'm happy with them for now. We'll see if I end up changing my mind. While we're in the back of the car, I did the sport exhaust. I'm gonna end up changing the exhaust anyway, but I liked the two big tips as opposed to like the two dual tips. And the only way to get that is with a factory sport Porsche exhaust, which also a lot of the dudes that buy these cars look for when they end up buying them used. So I thought that might help resale, and then I get the cool bumper anyway. I did opt to have it with the Porsche Active Suspension Management. Basically, it's lowered from Porsche. I did confirm that it does change the dampers a little bit. It's not like it just has a lowering spring. I do plan on doing lowering springs, so my logic was if I get a car that's already a little bit lower from the factory from Porsche, when I lower it, the shocks will be a little bit better set up to handle being even lower. Another thing, while we're talking about suspension, one of the coolest things about 911s, when you lower them, especially on the GT3, which sits down really low, they have what's called the front axle lift. I don't know if it's gonna work right now, but you click the button, I think I need to start the car. I click the button, and the front goes up. So I could do wheelies, and then when I have to go in a Starbucks parking lot, which has a very big incline, it doesn't matter because I will never scrape my bumper. Oh, I think it's making me close my door to lower it. Look, you can still hear me because I have a lav. How cool is that? Ha 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 ha, we are low now. Close the button, now we out. Okay, it's got the fancy Porsche headlights that change the housings to black. Has that cool little logo in there. Remember that scene in the Fast and Furious where they're like in Tokyo Drift and he like quotes, it's got 575 horsepower and a Boral exhaust. And their dude's like, cool, you can read the brochure. That's literally what I'm doing right now. I could tell you from memory, but it would like take me so long, and I'm trying to make these clips like pretty continuous. So I'm using this as my notes to jog my brain. There's a lot of bullshit tech options for this car that you could do between like parking sensors and cameras and adaptive cruise control and all this stuff. I don't like any of that stuff. I feel like it makes you lazy as a driver. The only stuff I did was what is called Porsche surround view, which basically has the cameras. So you get like the little overhead view, has like good sensors for like parking and stuff so I don't hit things because that's never fun. I did the ambient lighting, which lets you put like a color in here. I think it's kind of hard to tell now. Maybe it's not on. Yeah. Maybe I'll close my door. But it like, you can change the colors inside the interior. I really like that with the RS6. Yeah, you can kind of see through the windows. It's kind of like blue.
I can see it a little bit.
Yeah, I have it set with blue and then it goes off. Sorry. But that's one thing that I did. And then I did ventilated seats because we live in Florida and it's a black car and the seats get really hot. I could have done Porsche carbon ceramic. No, sorry. I am so dumb right now. I could have done the Porsche carbon buckets, which is sick. They do those. You could do the rear seat delete and basically make it a mini GT3. But since I've been having a lot of back pain, getting in and out of cars has been really hard for me. Sounds really dumb. I know I need to get my back fixed, but these seats are extremely comfortable. They're ventilated. I think they look good with the yellow stitching. They don't look too plain. Back seat, pretty much useless. I've been throwing things on it. But it's cooler, I think, than having a rear seat delete, because if I do ever want to throw someone in back, like it's technically legal. I don't know if it's nice for the passenger, but that's a thing. I did the storage package, which is just net in the front. Seat belts are in yellow, because I'm a racer. I did the fire extinguisher, because hopefully this car won't catch on fire, but there's a chance that maybe one of my other cars that's driving with it or one of my friend's cars will catch on fire, so then I'm prepared. Which happened once. My Evo almost caught on fire on the side of the road. I think Shulman was driving the GT3. I ran up to the GT3, grabbed the fire extinguisher out of it, and almost had to put my Evo out. So fire extinguisher in like all the cars. A little torn about the steering wheel. I love the matte carbon fiber. I knew that I wanted to do that. I was torn about doing Alcantara in my daily just because a lot of times my hands will be dirty. I like it. I love it right now. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not super happy with the quality of this one compared to my GT3. There's a little nub on it that's been driving me nuts. You're not gonna be able to see it on camera. Like it took me like an hour just to even get it on photo. But it's like this little spiky nub and there's one thread that's coming loose. Porsche is really good about these cars and I'm hoping that they'll like give me another wheel or something. But I'm also kind of on the fence and almost wish that I just got like a perforated leather one. Even though it's not as bougie, I would just be way less anal about always having my hands clean. But it just feels really nice to make it look like a race car, so that's cool. Other than that, I got this in Alcantara, which is neat. I love the Porsche crest, I had that added on there. I did the footrest in aluminum, just something I've always done, and I say I've always done, but I've only ridden one Porsche before. But it makes the car feel like a lot nicer. And this right here, I hate how these speakers look, the Burmester, I don't even know how to say it. I have no idea about the company. It's supposed to be a good company with speakers. I will tell you, I was blown the f away more than anything else about this car by the speakers. They are the best speakers I've ever had in any car ever. I get excited to listen to music in this car and will actually, I mean right now it doesn't sound that good anyway, but I will choose to listen to the music over hearing exhaust noise, which is like huge for me because I'll normally have the music down low and like have my head out the window so I can hear my turbo, but in this car I'm just pumped to just listen to my music because every song that I listen to in this car sounds 10 times better than I've ever heard it before. Mike hasn't heard the music in this car yet, so now he's probably gonna want me to show him. So we'll take a quick break so I can show him the music in here.
Okay.
Another couple impressions and stuff that I really like about this car. I've pretty much told you all the options that I've chosen at this point. This looks like an electric shaver. Porsche, I don't know what the f you're doing here, but everything else I really like. Like the button layout here, everything's a lot easier to access than it was in the 991s. The exhaust button's here, axle lift's here. Before you had to kind of like look for it and it was just weird. Cup holder looks really shallow. Guys, your mind is gonna be blown because we could probably do a 2.5 second 0 to 60, not even spill drink. It like has the firmest grab and like it's super deep, even though it doesn't look it. What's funny is they gave me a cup holder delete like as a joke with the car. I was like, shh, never buying a car from you again. Just kidding, they're really nice. But yeah, so cup holder, great. Second cup holder's up here. cup holder. I kind of wish the second cup holder was here because in the other car I used to always like monitor to make sure it doesn't spill, but I like that it's closer to me here. This is sick. This button right here, I feel like you need to make like a driving one rather than just talking about it. You press this button and it automatically like goes to the lowest gear, which sounds dumb, right? It's like a kick down switch, but pressing the button is so fun. It's like a nitrous button. You press it and the car just like downshifts and it's just like ring, and it's just like ready to f***ing go. It's sick. And then that's how you select your drive modes. They did a fantastic job with the layout. I love the analog gauge with the 2 digital gauges. All the buttons, everything has just been so natural moving from the previous GT3 to the next generation 911. I've been so happy with this car. The RS6 instantly had a bunch of stuff that I hated about it. This car, Porsche knocked it out of the water with. And I think that's why one of the things I didn't mention before is there's an insane wait for these cars and they're selling at a ridiculous amount over sticker. Luckily, I got a fantastic deal on this car, but people that are ordering them now aren't even getting their cars till mid next year. So I lucked out mega with this car, especially getting as soon as I did. I actually got an allocation off one of my friends and I'm appreciative that I was able to score this car, but it's something else. It's special. I don't plan on making a ton of content with this car. It's kind of just one of those cars for me. Obviously, we're gonna do some mods to it and it'll be in a couple of videos, but don't expect this to be like the new theme of the channel, for lack of a better word. But yeah, man, I hate the sunroofs. I'm mad about this. It goes back and stuff, but it's gonna be sick when I get my roof rack and it's like all murdered out and I look like a gangster. It'll be worth it. Gas mileage is fantastic too. I got like 13 miles to the gallon with the Audi. I get like 20 in this. 8-speed PDK. What more could I ask for? I have no idea. This car is sick. Oh, one other thing that I was gonna change. Mike, meet me over here. I actually already ordered these. God, look at those salt water spots. What the heck? Some weird stuff going on with that. These, I opted not to do the matte carbon fiber with illuminated logo, and I saw it on another car and it looked so freaking rad that I ended up ordering them. So I'll pop those in probably in the next video that we make on this thing. But other than that, yeah, she's sick. Got a couple little mods ordered, a couple of things planned lying around. I'm sure you guys can guess some of them. But overall, this is my baby. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know a lot of you kind of guessed that this was coming because I just kept talking about how badly I wanted one of these. So I hope you're as excited as I am, because it's rad. Even though I won't be making a lot of content with it, I hope you're still excited for me and not mad, because I know it sounds like a lot right on top of the compound, and it is a lot, and I almost bailed, but I decided not to bail. And I was really stressing because my RS6 almost didn't sell, and then I sold it literally like the day before I needed to go buy this. And then ironically, like I said in the video before, that he ended up going to the dealer the same day, so I got a ride from him when I went to go pick up my new car, and it was kind of weird because I was riding my old car that I didn't own anymore to go pick up my new car, and I got it. And here we are. Thank you for watching.